Hello. That was my phone. Hi, ladies. How are you? Want to make sure that you can hear me, you can see me. I am so happy to be here. I felt called to do this video. Okay, great. I felt called to this video because where to start? I'm gonna wait a little bit until. Okay. So I felt called to do this because where to tell you everything that I've been through, everything I've gone through since my swimwear line, or how did I even get the swimwear line? How did I get an investor? The time where I got the investor, it was an era of my life that I'm super proud of. I knew the knowledge that I had. I knew what I wanted to build. I knew what I wanted. I had the vision. The vision was big. The vision's still big. Um, However, there is so much to say, and I really want to share my story, what led me to abundance, what led me to financial freedom, what led me to fulfillment. And it all started with my swimwear line. I had just graduated for the um, for fashion design in New York City at the Art Institute, and I wanted to build something big. I wanted to have an nonprofit organization aside from my brand. I wanted to be in huge events, and I like my dreams were huge, and nothing could limit what I said. If anybody like went against what I said, I was like, you wait and see what I'm about to show you. So it was very um, fulfilling to see and accomplish everything I wanted. And I'm going to tell you that when I first got my investor, this investor was a family friend, and he was just like, what do you need? He was telling me like, what, I don't know how we got into that conversation, but he was like, what do you need? And I was like, I need money. And then he was like, how much? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. So I called my dad, not right then, this was like a day after, and he was like, I have someone that's interested in investing, like, how much should I ask? Like, how much, what, like, how do I even do this? So he helped me out with a business plan. I had no idea. Like, vision was never up for failure. Like, everything that I had, there was no vision of me not selling what I was selling. So all of the bathing suits that I did, my dad wanted me to have plan B, but my brain couldn't hold it. My brain was like, I'm selling this no matter what because they are the best bathing suits. And it's not about selling a product, but it's about how the product is going to make you feel. So he was like, okay, like I told him how much I wanted, and he wired me the money the next day. The next yeah, the next day I told him, hey, this is how much I need. So I sent him the business plan. He wired me the money, and we did like a contract thing in case nothing sold. um I either had to pay or give him the product that didn't sell, and he'll have to figure out. So anyway, that happened, and fast forward years of what I was doing, I didn't know, like people would be surprised with what I had accomplished, but for me it was like very normal. For me it was just like, but for me I was confused at the fact that people didn't do what they wanted to do. They got stuck in the freeze response. Like people would ask me like, hey, so how did you do it? I mean, I went to school, I learned, um and then I took action. Like what what else is there, you know? So fast forward years later, I got my heart broken. um this was back then when I had the bathing suit line, when I first started the bathing suit line. That was 10 years ago. I had my heart broken, and that shifted something massively with me. That shifted something that was just like, my entire branding on the bathing suit line was everything about feeling confident in your own skin, was about feeling amazing in your own skin. But I this was surface level. I've talked about this in recent lives and in recent videos, where I tell you that confidence is not really surface. It has to do with this inner knowing, with your ability to do certain actions and follow through, not stop when you see the desired result, not stop when all of a sudden something is not working and you did something wrong, but it is not wrong. You're learning. This entire thing is about looking at the bigger picture, looking at what is working and what is not working, and then learning from those mistakes. When something doesn't work, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It means that you're learning. You'll get that thing right if you put in the work. So fast forward to 5 years ago. Fast forward to 5 years ago, I didn't really get heartbroken. Like nothing really happened. Nothing. I mean, there's so much to say. Okay, let me tell you the heartbreaks, and let's put the business side on the side. Let's put the business on the side. So I got my heart broken when I was only about 18 years old. I wanted to stay virgin I um until I marry, until I, committed to someone. I wanted to lose it to someone that was so divinely right for me. And I got cheated on my first boyfriend, which that made a huge impact on me, because I was such an angel back then. I was like the little good girl. I didn't have the desire to buy drugs, or I didn't have the desire to go to parties. I was social, and I was a good girl. However, when that happened, that shifted something inside of me that needed to get out. It was like the part of me that never thought would come through. It was the part of me that I wanted to eat the entire world and lose it and try things I've never tried before. So when that happened, the brand, like 10 years ago when I was 18 years old, my second heartbreak, it was different. It was because I knew something was not aligned in the relationship that I was on. The guy that I was with was perfect. However, um, he had certain habits that didn't align with me, and that was drinking every weekend. For some people, is that is normal, but for me, it isn't. Like if you are using some kind of drug to not be present, it sounds, or it's, I see it as a way of you not wanting to be present. So at the end of the day, I knew that there was something inside of him that he didn't want to face, and that didn't align with me. So when I figured that out, I was like, okay, what do I need to become in order to attract that man, that provider man, that wealthy man, that entrepreneur, the guy that has the freedom to travel anywhere? What do I need to do? So I got into a bunch of courses. I got into coaching. I had a therapist. I figured out all of the wounds that I had. I became obsessed. I started, like, eating books for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. And there wasn't enough that I couldn't learn. I learned about relationships. I learned about love. I learned about childhood wounds. I learned about archetypes of women that we have. I learned that we're not, what do you call it? We're not linear. We're cyclical. So I learned a bunch of stuff. I got my dream man, and now I wanted abundance. This is for the juicy stuff that I asked you to join me today. I wanted abundance, freedom, and all of this. However, there was a block inside of me. Oh my God. I'll tell you the blocks once my story is done. Okay. And the story is that I got the man. However, I didn't feel enough. I wasn't doing, like, everything that I studied, I built right after. I had a course. I started building trust through viewers in YouTube. I needed to change my algorithm on Instagram because there were a bunch of men that were following me just because I had the swimwear line, which is fine because I had the swimwear line. However, these were not people that I wanted to sell my coaching, my transformation. Like, I am not a caterer for men. I'm a caterer for women. And I think that I feel most inspired when I'm around them too. So um so I had to change my entire identity. I mean, my entire online identity, and I started to do that a couple of years back, and it was hard to do. Um, but I had fun in the process. However, there was something else that I had blocks. There are things that you there. According to the books that I've read, that there are certain things that you block yourself from. And one of the things that I was blocking myself was not being authentic. Like, I had such fear of showing you my vulnerability, showing you my emotions. All, like, I would have never thought I would be able to do the life that I'm doing today, because because it I've been raised with the belief that if I show my feelings, People are going to take advantage of me. People are going to take advantage and see me as a weak person. Why? Because I'm showing my emotions. I was raised in a family household that was not safe to share your feelings. Or I had this friend that once called me out that I cried too much, that I was a crybaby. That's what she called me. So I automatically was conditioned to be raised with this facade, with this mask of not showing vulnerability, with not showing my emotional side. So I came into contact with that last year. I mean, I felt it coming, and this last few months, no, actually last year, it was like I was purging a version of me that no longer resonated with me. Because the more authentic you are, the more people are going to be drawn to you. And this is what women do not understand. Sometimes we feel blocked, that in whatever area that you are blocked in, that can be your finances, or that can be your creativity, that can be your business, um, or even your sexual side. A lot of people, women, do not get um, wet because they have blocks of creativity, but it is because they want to control, side word by word, everything they have written down. They don't leave any room for life to flow. I shake as I tell you this because I'm showing you my most vulnerable side. I haven't told my story. I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but uh, thank you so much for watching. And please let me know if you have any questions, because I would love to answer them. And we don't know how much we're blocking ourselves by not showing, but by not showing our most authentic self. When you show that version of you, you have no idea how things are going to come so easily. I'm feeling chills and goosebumps. I don't know if you're able to see, but this has shifted something in me that you would never think possible, and it has almost opened my world wide to all variety, to all abundance. And I would have never thought I would be taking a 44-day vacation. What? Yeah, I'm taking a 44-day vacation in a couple of months. And, it is very romanticized these days to be with a provider man, which I recommend women to do. However, just depending on that person, it is holding your legs down. Just depending on that person, it is leaking your power and not showing up with your full force and power. It is amazing that a man provides, that a man can do this and that a man can do that, but do you know the power that you're holding on? There has to be a balance for you too. Because when I've seen this in many relationships in the past, like my mom's relationship, and how she shifted. When she was single, she was so powerful, but when she had a boyfriend or something, or a partner, she was not in her full power. It was almost like she was giving too much attention to that guy. Or maybe I'm not putting in the right words. but maybe she didn't have the perfect balance. Maybe what I mean to say is do not abandon yourself. Do not forget that you also hold power. Do not forget that everything you have learned, you can also monetize. Everything that you hold as your truth, I always say that your truth matters. And if you don't resonate with my truth, it's okay because everybody has different perspectives. However, if you're merely and only depending on the guy that you're with, you're not showing up in your full power. Or that can, this is what I think. Maybe some women will disagree. And of course, this changes when you have children. And who is to say that you cannot make money while you sleep? Can you imagine that? Because I sure have created a system that has to create that makes me money on my sleep. So to tell you what are the blocks that we might be holding on to is that maybe you are the type of woman that you're leaking your power. Maybe you're the type of woman that is showing up and it's like, yeah, we have to do this. And we've almost romanticized how men work, and we're not honoring our true essence, and that is being a woman. That is that honoring our body and actually listening to it. It's not taking a freaking pill every time your period is hurting. I understand, please, please. I understand, and I've created a system for me to work. I work from home, so I am comfortable. However, I decided that, and you can too. I understand that sometimes we might need to take the pill to just get the work done. However, don't stay there. Like, know that there's a different and a more magnetic, a more fulfilling side that you can do for yourself, a more fulfilling life. A one when let me tell you something that I've touched on a little bit on past lives, and it is Eckhart. I actually read this from Eckhart Tolle, the guy who wrote The Power of Now, and he has a chapter, not a chapter, but like a small section in that book that he says that we every month that we have our period, it is a transmutation of an emotion that we're holding on to. Let that sink in because that means that we have the power of evolving, and men do it through us. If we're not honoring ourselves, if we are not acknowledging everything that we're transmuting, every release encounter that we have monthly, it's okay. But when you have that knowledge, when you have that information, you can do so much more. You're going to be so enlightened. You're going to feel like everything makes sense. I wanted to share with you, whoever is watching, that tonight at 6 Eastern Time, I am having an event, a live event with Karina with Abundant Indigo. I am so happy to be sharing this because we're going to talk about her, how she got into coaching, and it is happy to be sharing this. So subscribe if you want to, be live in this event and everything. Hola Javier Ramos. Muchas gracias por el cumplido. Well, as I was telling you, and the road to abundance that led me to do this video, it's like almost telling you to have a balance. And if a man is watching this, I mean, I don't know if this resonates with them. However, I'll mention that we're meant to have balance. You're meant to rest as well. Sometimes men do not rest because they think that they need to get the result beforehand, before rest is earned. But women, this message is for you. You do not have to do something in order to rest. I mean, I'm not saying don't do anything, but take aligned action. Do work towards your goal, have discipline enough, but also, if there are no results that day, listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you and really tune to what it is that you're meant to share today. And if you have a soul led business, if you have a home business, whatever it is that you do, take a little bit more consciousness. If you have your period, maybe don't take that pill and work through your inner triggers, because whatever it is that you're feeling through that um, period, that holds some truth in you. You know, this is going to sound crazy. I don't know if I should share it. I'm going to share it. But the past periods that I've had, it's almost like I've been purging. It's almost been like I've been releasing a part of me that I didn't know that I was holding on to, because I had done all of the inner work. So right now I'm going through a phase of truly embody that person that I've been telling you that I've worked through. So it's hard to explain, but it is almost embodying all of the qualities of the feminine women, but also all of the qualities of the masculine energy, because we need to have both energies for something amazing to happen. I am so happy for you to be here, sharing and listening to this. If you resonate, please let me know. I'd love to hear you and know your thoughts. I read your comments. And another invitation that I wanted to tell you is that I wasn't able to record the masterclass, but it was so good. It was so potent that I'm going to record it and have it like a low ticket offer for you, because it's all of the power that you're meant to have as a woman. I said it in the masterclass, so I'm going to do that for you and have it ready next time I'm here live. Okay? Are there any questions, comments, concerns? I am also coming in a live later on in 3 hours, on a topic that it's really talked about, and it's about confidence. And I believe that confidence is a foundation for everything. We're going to be with a friend that I just met, that we met at a course that we were doing together, and I'm very excited for you to meet her. Her name is Karina Abundant Indigo, and if you're feeling called to join us, I think you can turn on notifications so you can get notified every time I'm on live. And yeah, I'm gonna ask you to do that so you know next time I'm live. Okay? So to end this live, I want you to remember to speak your truth, to talk with yourself, to have a little bit of presence, to have love, to do things with love, because that changes everything. to trust yourself, take aligned action in everything that you're meant to do, because if something is not working, it doesn't mean that it's not working. It means that you're learning what doesn't work. It means that you are still in the process. Don't freaking give up. If you give up, that only tells me that you have low self-esteem, low self-worth, low confidence, no security. So if something is not working, push through. Listen to your inner knowing. Ask yourself what it is that you're supposed to do today, and then continue and do that. Anyway, I love you guys so much, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Please leave me a comment, a like, and subscribe. Okay, I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.